Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we got a map which for me jumped off of the workshop. It was really eye-catching. We have a red rock theme. We have quite a lot of interesting build locations, some strong mountains, some interesting coastlines, all of the things which can make for a very nice map indeed. And it's a sort of map today that's going to get basically two ratings. There's going to be the fair rating, the one that you guys are going to look at and go, actually no, this is a pretty fair. And then there's a BonBon rating, which some of you may feel harsh, but I have to be fair in my own way. Today's map,
it's my first map.
That's right, and they have made one of the biggest mistakes that you can possibly make. Sadly. We'll get to it, we'll cover it, we'll explain it, and we'll try and work around it. But before we do any of that, we've got this. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Piper Coast by TomGWeekendFarmer. I'm sure that's what you do. Yeah, weekend farms, listen, part-time job, why not? Let's have a little look at the start square. Now, you may notice we've got a roundabout there, missing some roundabouts. Well, there's a reason for that, which will crop up very soon indeed. Terrain heights, lots of flat buildable space around a very interesting shaped map. Lots to score on this one. We've got resources in locations that are accessible and probably fun, so definitely playable there as well. And if you happen to have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map looks like this. Again, looks fun. I'm good with all of that. So off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. We're using the Sedina map theme, the realistic 1.2 luck, because nothing's prescribed. And all the required dependencies are in the one-click collection, it says at the top. There is no one-click collection listed anyway. Here are all the custom assets that I used in the map. Probably have to scroll down a little bit for you. So yes, this is all of the assets I used in the map. These are all, well, a lot of these I had, but not all of them. And of course, if you don't have all of them, then they'll be missing. And here are the few that are missing from what you'll be seeing today. So yeah, the map isn't quite 100% complete. But you're lucky there are anything. It's only because I've reviewed so many maps that I've got so many of the custom assets by chance, like the road down below. If I didn't have any of the custom assets, then this map will of course be broken, because these roads just won't appear and nothing is going to get to the start square. In fact, all the trees will be missing, apart from any vanilla ones that happen to be dotted around. To be honest with you, I think these are the vanilla trees on the right, the new ones, the Miyagi ones. Sorry, Miyagi. Maison. The wrong Mr. M there. Sorry, got you two guys mixed up again. Will somebody please change their name? No, I'm just joking. But anyway, yes, the Mr. Maison vanilla trees. Some of these will be vanilla, so there will be some trees in there probably, but there's also a whole bunch of trees that will go missing because, you know, we've already covered it. And that for me is the problem with today's map. Not that the map isn't any good. In fact, the map is quite endearing from what I can see. Yes, there are bits missing, yeah. But from what I can see, the map is actually quite endearing. And as I've managed to load it up here, it's definitely playable and will definitely appeal to quite a few people. And that's why I've gone ahead with the review. It's like, well, there's going to be a few of you out there that like this. And you'll be able to use your imagination as to what's missing. And certainly in terms of any connections that are missing, you can just paint them in yourself. And you know, you can find them using the loading screen mod, load up the map, and then, or just using the images that I just showed you from my loading screen report. We're using intersection marking tool today, and in places like here, it's done very nicely indeed. In places. And then in places, it's been skipped completely, like here. Just a little bit. So they're playing. It's their first map. So they're playing, they're entertaining themselves, they're getting some new skills, and new skills are great to have. And again, the work there was sublime. What you're going to see further on will be just patches where there are no intersections in, and it's just a little bit more time, a little bit more work to go into it. And that's the thing with map making, you're never finished. Just when you think you're finished, a map reviewer comes along and says, if only you put an extra stone here. Just one stone. There are so few maps that will not have just a little grumble or a little something, and this map, I'll say it's pleasing enough, assuming everything's in place. So don't be too disheartened, Tom. Okay, don't be too disheartened. We've all made mistakes. Unfortunately, a missing one-click collection is a big one. Because your average Joe, let's say there's a Sally X weekday entertainer, whatever, right, subscribes to your map. It's the very first thing she subscribed to off of the workshop. Well, she'll have the theme and she'll have the map, but she won't have any of the trees or the roads. And let's say she's got a potato for a computer, so the map takes 20 minutes to load, and then once it's loaded, it's basically broken. And that's the only reason why I'm super strict with this sort of thing. So we've got a little street lamp clipping through there. It's a nice low bridge, just repositioning the street lamp is all that needs doing there. Not as easy as it sounds. Anyway, we've got some interesting, good use of roads. Not interesting, good use of roads, but just unfortunately now missing the intersection marking tool, where they're very. If they were in, you've used it in one or two, and then not used it in the rest. Anyway, Start Square Roundabout, which obviously we're missing a couple of networks to complete that, but I think we can get a good visual impression of what it's supposed to look like. And that'd be pretty solid. We're going to head over to the rail now, because you've seen the quality of the roads, and the road's just going to follow more or less alongside the rail for a little while. Little bit of a problem with the rail here. It's just a bit glitchy at that point there. Again, we've all made that mistake. I certainly have fairly recently in the city build. It's easy done, easy mistake to make. And just easy thing to slip through. You don't need me coming along to tell you that. Nice bridges here, by the way. The rail bridge wants to be a bit flatter than that, realistically, and it does bounce a little bit, the rail line. And when we get to the end of the rail line, at the edge of the map, it's sort of like it does climb an incline. But again, this doesn't feel like a true real map. It's more of a slightly yes, it is taken from a real life location. I did read that. I can't remember where. I haven't got my notes on that now, but yes, it was inspired by a real life location, but it still feels a little bit fantastical. By we have two sorts of terrain. We have the rocky mountains, and we have almost perfectly flat land to build on. And there's no real in between. So when I say it's a little bit fantastical, it is. It's taken a real life location for inspiration, and then we have pretty flattened it into a way that makes it more playable for city builders, and that's more credit. I'm all for giving the credit. Anyway, we're now sort of like this rail's going to bend for quite some while now and head off towards the edge of the map. So anyway, yes, this week I've been running slightly different intermissions. The intermissions this week are I'm using YouTube's mid-roll commercials. So if you're running an ad blocker, you won't be getting a commercial. If you're unlucky or lucky, depending on your viewpoint, YouTube may fail to run an advert, or it may just a little pop-up box. All of these little things. I'm just trialing it this week. Just want to see what the end results in numbers are. I'm not greedily after the money. I'm just curious. Just curious to see what difference it makes, if any, in all the scopes of the analytics. So yes, that's what's happening this week. I'll do something a little bit different again next week, if you can wait that long. There's that uphill I told you about. And so back to Piper Coast by TomGWeekendFarmer, and the shipping routes, which actually are very good. Okay, I don't know if you were expecting me to say that, but actually very good. We've got a few dead end one ways, which have got shipping triangles leading into them, And the shipping triangles are nice and slick, and we've got a nice long route, which means we can go all the way around the outside of the map. You can get a harbour down pretty much anywhere. And the places that you do want to have a little shipping route in so you can get into a harbour area, we've got all of them like that. See, look at that. That's really good. And then on top of that, around to the edge of the map, when I pull back the camera, you might just get a glimpse of one further one on the far right now. There you go. Just one long dead end route there. All good. A water flow from the start square. Yes, a little bit fantastical, but you know what? It's good, strong water flow, which is good for city builders, again, that like to pump and drain, and that's what you got. You're going to have no pollution. This is all very playable and very pleasing. So it's not all bad. Yeah, I grumble a lot, but there's always something positive to say, which is why I say be kind in the comments. Even if you are going to be critical, find something that you did like and say that as well. Okay. Okay, let's pick a couple of areas. Let's pick a boring area on the map, like over here. Look, we've got striking mountains and a little valley there. And the tree painting, even though we haven't got all of the trees, the tree painting down here, I like it. And I even like the way that the trees have been, a little bit of a, I don't know, I kind of like that as well. But yeah, the trees on the mountains, I kind of work for me as well. I think there's good tree work on today's map, even though we're missing a few and probably we'll be missing all of them. Then over this side here, we've got, this is a nice flat mountainful island. Mountainful island, yes. Got a mountain ridge line along the middle. A few drowned trees. Yes, 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 they've got their trunks on. Splashing around there in the ocean. What's going on there? Oh no, that's just texture. Don't worry about that. It just looked a bit weird. A few more drowned trees over here. There are a few like that dotted around, but not too many. There aren't as many drowned trees as you might fear. If you head down here, we have everybody's favourite factory, along with the custom rail, which of course is not vanilla, therefore wouldn't be here. So we're supposed to ignore the rail. Okay, we didn't see any rail there. Got the dirt track leading down to the vanilla pier, which again, this kind of works really nicely. And a little abandoned truck or car down there as well. Yeah. Got a few more little islands. Now this island's got a little bit of a texture like edge here, like a little cliffy edge. So that can be smoothed out just a little bit. I don't mind it. But that's probably the best of those. Then you get some like this, where the water's just too deep there. You can see it's just slipping over into the grassy areas. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit deeper than it wants to be. We've got another vanilla pier over here, but this one leads us up to, the Central Lighthouse. Isn't she lovely? In orange, no less. And of course, the shipwreck. It's not a complete lighthouse if it doesn't have a shipwreck right beside it. Here's some more of that slightly glitchy water's edge, only this time it's actually the seabed in the bottom there. Just looks a bit bumpy. Probably do with a bit of cleaning up, a bit of smoothing. I don't mind a few bumps under the water, don't get me wrong, but that just looks like it's bumpy as opposed to natural, yeah? And then we got this. This is a custom dirt road. Was this Ronix's work? Again, I'm trying to remember. This is from a while ago. But yes, it's effectively the dirt track, but it's a custom one, which means it doesn't exist. You're not seeing anything right now because one-click collection and all that. But we follow the dirt track. It's the thing with this dirt track. I don't mind it. But it just seems to be a bit weird in it doesn't go from one place to another. Got a tree there. It does. I mean, we're going to end up at an abandoned shack, one of those burnt out abandoned shacks. But it just seems a bit weird. I don't buy into it at all. But again, there's nothing really wrong with it. So me not buying into it has nothing to do with it even. Somewhere over here this dirt track's going to end. There is. I mean, I guess, you want to get across the map, you could do that. And right, start square. Let's head to the start square. We've got an asset of the day. And this one is the roundabout decoration Aleta de Tiburon by Modocero. This goes in the middle of a roundabout. Ironically, we've got behind us a roundabout that hasn't got a roundabout. Oh heck, factoids, because factoids. Barranquilla, which is the town that this decoration comes from in Colombia. A little factoid about there. The northern sector of the city of Barranquilla is the most modern and best equipped in terms of infrastructure, with the best neighbourhoods, parks, hotels and shopping centres. The best hotels are located in the north of the city, I think we've just read that, near important businesses, districts and shopping centres, which are often used for holding events, conventions, conferences, among others. See, sometimes translating a wiki article doesn't always read that well, but I get the impression that the northern sector of Banguilla is the nicer side of the city, the modern side, and probably where this roundabout lives. Roundabout decoration, Aleta de Tiburon by Modocero. It's very nice. It's very shiny, very cut out, and very, I think, very heavily subscribed. I would say it's going to have to be. It's so lovely. Anyway, are you still here? Good. Vote. Your time to vote. Your time to shine. Is this a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Now, vote before I do. Don't be influenced by my ratings. You make up your own decisions, okay? Right. Aesthetically, what we're seeing here is, I feel, a high 3. With the missing bits and pieces, it might even be pushing into 4 stars. Maybe. But what we're seeing here, we shouldn't be seeing. A lot of this should be missing. So I can't give it a high 3. In fact, I have to assume that so much of it's going to be missing, it's going to be 2 stars. So I'm going to go middle 2. Because I think even with no trees on this is an interesting shaped map and an interesting theme. Detailing, yeah, I would say middle 2 as well for the same reasons, but I'm going to go even lower because I don't think the aesthetics of the theme don't carry into the detail, so I'm going to go low 2. Gameplay potential, yeah, it's technically broken. No roads, no rail, 1 star. But that's only because it's missing the one-click collection. You put the one-click collection in and suddenly you've got something that's really very nice and might even be pushing into 4 stars. Piper Coast by TomGWeekendFarmer. It feels bad having to say bad things about the map, but I have to review it fairly. And without that one-click collection, it's going to be wasting some people's time. So Tom, if you're watching this, please, 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 you know, in general, it'd be a good thing to have. And if you're still here, you can use that word as the word of the day into the comments to score yourself some population points to prove you are part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.